What's going on? What's going on? So, I look super rough, but I wanted to make sure that I just did a quick tutorial just to help my ladies at home that cannot get to a stylist or a salon because of the shutdown. So, this is a super old, oh my god, maybe 2 week finger coil set that actually my daughter put it in for me, but it is overdue to be shampooed. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys some tips and tricks on how to prep your hair from a protective style, especially when you left it in way too long, because I leave my stuff in way too long. So I'm gonna start with just a bottle of water. This is just plain water, cold water, and I'm using my mister. And what I like about the mister is you can squeeze it a few times and then it just sprays on its own. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just going to wet my hair. And like I said, it's just plain water. Now, I'm not going to get my hair soaking wet, but what I want to do is I just want to activate some of the products that's already in my hair because it's dry and it just feels, tight. It's a mess. So if I go in and try to just start combing it, it's going to be painful and I'm going to have a lot of shedding and possibly even some breakage. And as you see, my hair is colored, so I want to make sure that I protect it as much as possible. So after I spray it, I went ahead and I just started kind of pulling it. And as you'll see, you might even see it start to kind of get like a little bit more shiny. It just kind of brings it back to life. This is my old finger coil set. So I'm just kind of bringing that back to life a little bit. I'm just reactivating all the products that I've already put in my hair. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit, let me the patch back here. Now, if you, of course, my hair is short, but if you have longer hair, you can do the exact same thing. You could just do it in sections so it just doesn't get too overwhelming. But let me make sure I spray back here in the back. On this side. I'm not going to keep pulling it because I just don't want to get water everywhere since I'm doing a video. But if I was, not recording, that I would like really use the mister a lot more so it can just kind of spray on its own. So as you see, it's starting to get flat. You can kind of see where just looks a little bit more hydrated. So I'm going to use some of my Uli Nature's Oil Complex, and what this does is it's going to add some more moisture into my hair, almost like a pre-poo. And as you see, I'm just kind of knocking out those curls. Now, granted, I get it. Everyone's texture is different, but this is the procedure. I like to use this at the salon as well, especially if someone hasn't really combed their hair in a while. We get a lot of big, tight, curly hair, and we have to do what we call a comb out. So this is a great way to just kind of prep your hair. And my hair gets really tight. My hair is very deceiving. It looks one way wet, and then it just turns into something else dry. But if you're going to know, those are still kind of tight, so I'm just going to wet this in here. And like I said, just kind of reactivate the products that are already in there. I'm going to add a little bit more of my Uli Nature's Oil Complex. And I love this oil. It just smells so good. Oh my God, I wish you guys could smell it. Just smell it. It smells awesome. But what I like about it is that it's not too heavy, but it definitely adds a lot of moisture and even slip into your hair. I'm tender-headed, so I need all the help I can get. So I'm just going to go in, and as you saw when I first started, I was using my fingers just to start stretching out those curls. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the ends, and then I'm going to work my way up to the root. Now my color has loosened my texture just a little bit, so my curls are not as tight as they normally would be, because my hair, like I said, is very deceiving. It starts off one way and then it just kind of turns into its own animal. But I'm just going to lightly go in and detangle. Now, like I said, if you're working with longer hair, coarser hair, take it in sections. So for example, I can section this part and then I can just kind of go through and detangle. And I just take my time. I'm not going to rip through my hair. If I feel like there's a knot there, I'm going to take my time, and I may even use my fingers to loosen that knot up. So then that way it'll comb right through. And I added a little bit more Uli. And what I like about Uli, like I said, what I think is dope is that I can just spray it right on my scalp. So if it gets itchy, this is perfect for like protective styles where you just not need to get right in there on the scalp. You can spray it right on. This is my personal bottle that I had from my daughters because I would not have any if I did not hide it. So look, there's a knot right there. So I'm just going to take my time and try to find that knot. That's a big one, huh? There it is. And then I'm going to go through and comb that. And as you see, I have my wide tooth comb. There is some shedding. No worries. I haven't combed my hair in 2 weeks. So shedding, you should expect some shedding. If you don't, I would be a little worried. Or your hair is just that healthy. Now back here, my texture's changed a little bit. It's a little bit tighter back here. So I'm going to go back in. Actually, you know what? Let me put my towel around me so I don't make too much of a mess. There we go. Now we cooking with butter. So I'm just going to add some more water. And like I said, I'm not making my hair dripping wet. I'm just making it very damp because I want to reactivate the products that I already have in here, which is also the Uli product line. I'm just working through, and I am using the Uli product line. That's actually what I have in my hair currently, what I use to set my hair in the finger coils. So I'm just wetting it, like I said, just so I can reactivate everything and add some moisture back into my hair just to kind of bring it back to life. You guys can probably see a difference. Well, this is starting to kind of dry already, but it's nice and moisturized. It doesn't feel dry and brittle like it did prior to me adding the water. And Uli is definitely one of our favorite products. Now, it is a professional line, so you won't necessarily find it at your local beauty supply store or on Amazon because it is a professional high grade product. Everything is super concentrated, so you really don't need a whole lot. I'm adding some extra spray because I need to add some conditioning and some moisture into my hair because I literally have not touched it for probably 2 weeks. So I'm just going to add some more. Now, if I was styling my hair, depending on the type of style, I may or may not use as much oil because I don't want to weigh my hair down. But because I'm doing pretty much a pre-poo before I shampoo, I want to make sure that I add a lot of moisture. So that way, and like I said, I also want to make sure that I can easily detangle it. Sorry, I'm just getting these little extra pieces of hair off my fingers. That drives me crazy. But I wanted to make sure that I add some extra moisture so that way I'll have slip so it doesn't hurt as much when I go through and detangle my hair. Oh yeah, we got some kinks back there. My hair gets very, like I said, don't let it deceive you because it starts off one way and then it turns into something completely different. So I do have a lot of hair, so I normally work in sections. Even though my hair is short, I still like to take it in sections to make it easier for me to manage. Ooh, child. There it is. So it's very tangly right here. I feel a bunch of knots, so I'm going to take my water and I'm going to spray right in that area. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to finger comb and start to slowly release those curls and untangle those knots. Just kind of stretch it a little bit so I can get those knots out of there and remove the dead hair that's accumulated over the past 2 weeks. So like I said, if anytime you're coming out of a protective style, you should always have some shedding. That's just dead hair. Hair sheds every day. They say that hair can shed up to 100 strands per day. So unless you're, if you're having excessive shedding every single day, then I would be alarmed. But anytime you're coming out of a style where you have literally have not touched your hair, definitely expect some shedding. There's a little tight one under there. I definitely have several textures going on in my hair. You probably can even notice as I'm detangling. So I'm going to separate this. Now you can use a clip. I don't have one in front of me. I just wanted to come on just to show you guys some tips and tricks to make wash day a lot easier, especially since we're all at home just kind of quarantining and you have to do your own hair. So as you see, I'm just working through. I'm taking my time, and again, I am working with a wide tooth comb. That will help to not cause any breakage, damage, and it just hurts. Like, who wants to feel something pulling on their hair, especially if it's already tangly and loaded with knots? So another thing I like to do is I kind of go through with my fingers to see if I've missed a spot. Like if there's any tight coils or curls anywhere, like there's one hanging out right there. And I like to just take my time and work my way through. And like I said, this can be done on all textures. Even our tight, coily, kinky hair, you can definitely do this on that texture. You just want to make sure that you don't overly saturate the hair with water and you add a lot of oil moisturizer. Some people like to use conditioner for their pre-poos. I like to use an oil, just like, to me, because I just feel like the hair already has product in there. So the water just kind of brings that back to life. It reactivates those products. And then I like to add the extra oil on for slip and moisture. So that way, as the hair dries, it's just going to absorb that moisture back into the hair cuticle, which it really, really needs. So I'm just going to continue combing through. So yes, please don't be afraid. See, there's some knots back here. There's a couple back here. So I'm going to add some more water. And some more oil complex. And I'm going to, as you notice, I'll start on the ends and then I start to slowly work my way back up to the hair roots, up to the scalp. And then, like I said, I like to take my time and just kind of finger through. I would do this even if my hair was long. When my hair was long, I always worked in sections because I like to have control over the hair. My hair is definitely shorter than it was, has been in a long time, but I still have a lot of it. So I still like to work in sections just to make sure I don't miss anything. And so I feel that I have control over my hair. So I just want to go through and make sure that I took care of that back section. Oh, there's a knot in there, so I'm just going to take my time, try to find that knot. I'm going to start at the bottom on the ends and then slowly work my way up the mid shaft to the roots, all the way up to my scalp. I know I can get a ponytail. Hey now. How about it? So I'm just going to use a little clip here to clip. Now, like I said, for tighter, more coily textures, you may want to keep your hair separated. So if I was working on, say, 4B, 4C, maybe even some 4As, if you wanted curl type, then I would definitely take it in sections. And as I detangle that section, I would then most likely twist the hair and then maybe clip it or pin it so that way it's separated from everywhere else. And then it won't start to lock up, because of course certain kinkier textures will coil up. My hair will mat up. As this starts to dry, my texture will change. The water just seems to change my hair, but once it dries, it definitely turns into its own animal. Now, as you see, my sides are short, but I'm still going to go in and add some water because I want to reactivate all the products that's in my hair. I don't want to just go in and shampoo my hair after it's been sitting for some time. And plus I work out, so a lot of my sweat from me working out is just drying on my scalp. which kind of creates a buildup and it makes it very itchy. So again, I'm just going to go in with my oil spray and then just start to take care of these short sections as well, because they need love too. Short hair needs love too, just like long hair needs love. So I just wanted to encourage you. Natural hair takes time. I definitely have a little bit of a love-hate hair struggle with my natural hair. Some days I love it, some days I'm over it. But the one piece of advice I can offer to anyone who is trying to maintain their hair at home, especially during this time where we have so much going on, be patient with your hair, take time with it, and just make sure that you're using good quality products. If you would like more information on what I'm using on my hair, we have these bottles available through the salon, and products and tools. Since we are closed, we are utilizing our online store. So you can check us out at www.fancychicks.com. Or you can also hit me up and let me know what you need for your hair, and we'll take care of you. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.